Warning, the following podcast has been classified as insanely lucrative. Listener discretion is advised.
I promise you that there's a ton of sellers out there that are subscribed to these services. They do it as a spying technique.
Your attention, please. Listening to the AM/PM podcast may cause recurring revenue streams and unfair advantages over your competitors. Other side effects may include fatter wallets, fired bosses, and longer vacations. Listen at your own risk. Here's your host, seven-figure entrepreneur and online marketing madman, Manny Coates. Manny Coates.
Hello, gang. What's happening? Welcome to the AM/PM podcast. It's called the AM/PM podcast because this is where we discuss creating perpetual income every minute, 24 hours per day during the AM and the PM. My name is Manny Coates and I'm your host. And today I want to talk to you guys about review services and how your product ideas might be getting stolen. I know, sounds a little scary, right? So let's dive into this. Review services, most of us use them. If you haven't actually launched a product yet, then you haven't used one yet, most likely, but you probably will. They're great, and the reason for this is it allows you to get very quick traction in the marketplace. Everybody knows, I hope by this point, that reviews increase your conversion rate. So when you're driving traffic to your product page, if you've got a bunch of reviews, your conversion rate goes up. That means people are actually buying more often when they see a product that has 4 or 5-star reviews. And because of that, Amazon gives you a little bit of their Amazon love. They rank your product a little higher in the search results. So this is one of the main reasons why you should always have some reviews going before you start driving pay-per-click traffic to your product page. So one way to do this is one way that a lot of people used to use is to get friends and family to jump on in and buy the product and review it. But Amazon doesn't like this. Their terms of service say that they don't want you doing any kind of funny business, right? When it comes to rank manipulation, reviews, what have you. So your friends aren't going to say that you gave them the product for free. They're not going to, unless you're specifically telling them to do stuff, they might forget. It can just get you in trouble. If you're using a review service, a quality one, a well-known review service, then you're probably in pretty good hands. They're going to put your product out in front of a bunch of people that are going to get your product for free or for the discounted rate that you're selling it through their service for, and then those people will leave hopefully an honest review, and at the bottom of that review they'll say that they got the product for a discounted price or free in exchange for an honest review. And Amazon seems to be okay with that. It falls within their terms of service. So that's the cool side of things, right? Now, here's where some issues could creep up. And a lot of people don't think about this. But if you're using a review service, pretty much anybody can sign up for these things, right? So I'm signed up to some of them. I want to see what kind of offers are going through. And I promise you that there's a ton of sellers out there that are subscribed to these services. And not just because they're subscribed because they want to see how it works, because they're interested in promoting their product through the services, but they do it as a spying technique. Interesting, right? So think about this. You sign up for one of the larger review services, and now you get to see all the products that are coming through, or at least a lot of the products that are coming through their network. And you can see if it's something interesting, if it's worth looking into, if it's worth tracking. Maybe it's a new potential niche or product that you might be interested in. Now, I'm using you as an example, right? But I'm just saying there's people out there that are doing this. And if you have a really novel idea or something that's really cool, that really has a super awesome potential, nobody's really hit that particular product line. When you do a review and you're going through a review service that has lots of people, there's a potential that somebody's going to see this, track it, see the growth, and then go, okay, maybe this is something that I want to get into, or they'll find your supplier and start selling it themselves. These spies, as I call them. Not only are they going to get your product for free or cheap, but then they're just going to track it and go from there. So here's the thing though, right? The larger and more well-known the review services, usually the more trusting they are, but it's also the more likely that there are going to be spies within their network that are watching, what's coming out, what people are actually promoting through these services. So you have to be careful about who you're using and who you're using and what products you're pushing through them. So there you go. That's pretty much it. I wanted to keep this short. If you're a potential spy, then I've laid it all out for you. Subscribe to these services and you can see what everybody's promoting. If you have a cool product and you want to try to protect it, then you have to think about it a little bit. If it's super awesome, maybe you don't want to use a review service. You want to kind of find other sources, other ways to drive reviews to your product, and then just run pay-per-click advertising to it. You don't need to have 20 or 30 reviews to start running pay-per-click traffic. Getting just a handful, 4 or 5 reviews, and then running pay-per-click traffic might be the way to go for you. But if you have a product that's pretty popular or common, or something that is just constantly being advertised or given away through these services, then you probably don't need to worry about it. It's also kind of a cool place to go. I do recommend you guys subscribe to these services just to see what's going through there. I can't believe how many supplement offers are being promoted. It's just crazy. And it goes to tell you why that market is so saturated and just difficult for the new or for the first time Amazon seller. It's just, it's pretty crazy out there. It's also eye-popping, just eye-opening to see how many people out there really don't have a clue, I think, for the most part, when it comes to selecting products. These are products some of them I've actually looked at, and they're just going to be horrible or very, very difficult to get any traction in. And then you see them promoting it, getting the reviews going so that they can try to push it, and it's not going to work. It might, but chances are they're jogging uphill. It's an uphill battle, right? So anyways, that's about it, guys. We'll keep this one short. If you have any questions or topics that you want me to cover, please do use the question page over at my site, and that is over at ampmpodcast.com. That's ampmpodcast.com. Also, guys, please, if you don't mind, be sure to subscribe to this podcast and leave me a quick review or a rating. It definitely helps. It's just like on Amazon. Every review and rating helps. And if you're on iTunes or Android, you can subscribe now, right, through the various services. And let other people know about my podcast. It'll definitely help to grow the channel. It'll allow me to make the channel or make the podcast even better. So once again, I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day and spending it with me here at the AMPM podcast. That's all I've got. So until next time, have a good one and take care. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the AMPM podcast hosted by Manny Coates. For more information, insider tools, and to get the resources mentioned in this episode, visit ampmpodcast.com.